Hello, Mechwarriors, and welcome to the Mechbay, where we fix your mech and fix your game. What's going on, Mechwarriors? I'm your host, Josh. I've got my co-host, Steve, the last man standing after a horrible atmospheric drop accident destroyed the rest of the platoon's kneecaps, with me today.
It was horrible. They just popped off and rolled everywhere.
And we are the Mechbay Podcast, your one source for all things casual to competitive tabletop battletech. And today's episode is sponsored by Mechwarrior Hans Davian, the man himself. Thank you, Hans. Salute. And cadets Honik the Sedgehog and Robot Parking. You know, Steve, I've been known to sedge the old hog once or twice.
I think you're supposed to do that in the privacy of your own home.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa. We're back. Episode 99. How you doing, Steve?
Hanging in there, man. It's always strange after Southern Assault. This is really, we did our recap episode and the Southern Assault episode, and those are fine, but there's always a lull around the holidays. You're so busy and doing everything. This feels like our first real episode back where we're going to talk about rules, which is exciting. We're back at it.
Let's not lie to the listeners, Steve. We were all like, what do we want to talk about? I don't know. We're going to roll a D300 because Total Warfare is 300 pages long. And we saw what the dice gods told us to do. And we said, no, we're not doing that.
No. We didn't say no. You chickened out.
Yeah, I chickened out.
We'll cover it next time.
Oh, no, we won't. It was wing and ground effect, folks. You didn't want that. I didn't want that. Nobody wanted that.
If you do want that, feel free to send us an email at themechbaypodcast@gmail.com and let us know your thoughts, along with any other encouraging words or hate mail.
Good segue, Steve. Good segue. Speaking of, let's do some hobby news, hobby progress, games played, tales from the hiring hall, and upcoming events. All right. Hobby news. What? Wait, what? No, we can't do another book. No.
It got released, man. Jason Hance's Long Road has now been released on CGL's web store and on Amazon. Get yourself a copy. It's full of all that Terran Falcon goodness and wrestling with internal feelings of failure.
Do all the Falcons have to wear like L's on their forehead everywhere they go in Chicago, right? It's Chicago.
Yes. Actually, the first scene of the book starts in good old Detroit.
I'm disappointed.
Awesome. Disappointed. Why? There's a train robbery. It's amazing. But other than that, I won't give any more spoilers. But yes, it takes place in Chicago, follows Tara Campbell and a couple of her plucky Jade Falcon helpers. And they go about, it's kind of a race against time mystery, but the themes of the book generally follow what happens to a soldier when your side loses the war, right? Your team lost. How do you deal with that? How do you process that? There are mech fights. There's a lot of cool stuff that happens, but overall, I think the themes of the book are really interesting. And there's some pretty cool characters, that I think people are going to like. There are a couple that I really relate to.
See, this is just me. If we really wanted to have it in a city that loses, I feel like Cleveland and the Cleveland Browns, and it's just like, yeah.
Look,
but Chicago's also a decent losing city with the Bears, but
too soon.
Too soon. Not soon enough. Oh, that's a good one. All right, let's get some hobby progress in. Steve, would you be shocked to hear that I've gotten no hobby progress in since our last episode?
Shocked? No. Slightly surprised. You were doing all that Halo stuff. I figured you'd have knocked out some more Halo Flashpoint models by now, but
the steam left, man. The steam left. Not on the Halo Flashpoint itself, but just like, you're right. Painting isn't fun again.
Yeah.
But I did buy more models.
Buying hobby progress. What'd you buy?
I bought more Halo Flashpoint from Bobby.
No, Josh, no.
Look, Bobby from Fortress Miniatures, he was like, hey, the beginner box is $30. And I was like, that's a deal. So
It's okay. I got some buying too. I was not very good.
Why are we so bad at this?
Because someone said that buying was hobby progress. And if I recall correctly, last time you gave me guff saying gifts were not hobby progress.
Gifts are not hobby progress.
I remedied that this year.
Oh.
This year? Yeah, this month? Yeah. It was not good. My local store that stocks Battletech, Pam is very nice. She's very good to us Battletech folk. Thank you, Pam. There was a sale on all miniature games.
Oh, no.
It was buy two, get one free.
Oh, what?
Or get 30% off, whichever's the better deal for you.
Dang.
So I said, look, Steve, let's be real. You got to keep it under $100. All right?
Before the discount or after the discount?
Steve, you got to keep it under $100. And we did. We checked out with $98 and a little bit of change. But that's good. I was able to report to the wife that I kept it under $100, and she was thrilled because there are days that I haven't done that. But we don't talk about those days, Josh. But for my $98, I got 4 boxes of BSP vehicles.
That's a lot of vehicles, man.
I'm doing campaigns now.
Oh, yeah.
So my local group, I'm running the campaign. They just picked up a contract from the Magistracy of Canopus, and they're going to fight the Free Worlds League. So I needed more Free Worlds League vehicles, so more purple tanks. So we bought the tanks. But that's not all, because we also got a Comstar level 2 for free. So Black Knights and King Crabs all day.
I was like, that's not the one that has the regular crab in it.
Nope. I needed another Black Knight. And in truth, I think that's the one with the Mercury. And I needed a Mercury. So
Mercury it's a good mech, Steve.
It is. And I need another one. But that's why I got it for free. And then because I have a problem. Free. It was free. I bought 2 vehicle boxes. I got a Comstar box for free.
I think they call that girl math, Steve. But in our case, it's hobby discount math.
Dude, hey, I paid $100 and I got 6 boxes. Wait a minute, Steve, you said 4 vehicle boxes and 1 Comstar level 2. You got another box? You bet your button I did. I got a legendary Mechwarriors box for, the pivotable torso, the shoulder gun on Duke Recoil's Marauder. And then for good measure, I got the Inner Sphere Urban Lance because I needed another Raven. So we got 7 boxes for $98, which is a pretty good deal.
Look, I'm not going to say I need to see the receipt, but did you tell your wife all that and then give her the receipt? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Look,
there wasn't some weird tax lawyer evasion going around.
Look, I'll promote your show if you give me a couple of these boxes for free. No, none of that. But honestly, my wife is extremely, we'll say tolerant. Is the right verb. I don't want to say supportive. I mean,
neutrally supportive is tolerant.
Yeah, right. There you go. She's tolerant of, and she understands that I have a problem and I'm in recovery. My recovery is about 3 weeks, but we're getting there, right? Every day is a struggle.
Cheaper than crack.
It's true. And once I have it painted, I get to keep it, right? It doesn't go away. It doesn't go up in smoke. So we got a lot of models, which is good. But that was all buying progress. You said you didn't get anything painted?
I didn't get anything painted. So as is the law of the Mechbay podcast document, I now have to pick out 2 persons on the Discord who have inspired me. And my first one has to be Fritz, and they're white and orange mechs. They got a lot of clan. I want to distinctly call out their Jenner 2C and their White Raven. They are super clean, white and orange.
So clean.
Like, I think someone said it's very like clan NASA. And I was like, yeah, I've been chasing that white orange like combination through a lot of hobby projects, and just seeing Fritz blow it out the water like was so good. They did say they used Chimera panel liner and then mineral spirits to like clean it up and get it all nice. And it's like,
I love Chimera panel liner stuff. I use that on my Snow Ravens to get those like gray, the recesses on the white. It's really easy. You take a nice gloss coat, cover your model in it. The panel liner, you just touch to a corner and it literally wicks into all the crevices. And because you've got a gloss coat on the model, it will kind of run away from the flat surfaces, right? The surface tension keeps it in the grooves. And then you take a Q-tip with mineral spirits to just wipe away anything that got on something you don't want. And it looks so sharp. It looks so sharp.
I'm still scared, Steve. I will one day get over my varnish, satin, gloss, whatever, coating the mechs and doing things to them. But until then, I paint and then I watch as the corners get their own weathering.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because, Fritz ended up sharing that recipe, and I've now convinced myself that I can do that too. And that's a good paint job when someone deludes you into thinking that you can do that. Oh, that looks easy. I'll be able to do that. And you're like, oh, maybe not. But I like that. That's a good choice. That's a really good choice.
Yeah. So my second person is J4 Head. I want to look, there's a lot of numbers as letters, but I'm going to go with J4 Head. And they are doing a conversion to make a Howler 3 and a Shadowhawk 2C7. And it's what I wanted, like in my soul, to make the space Shadowhawk 2C with the big laser gun. And yeah, it looks like they just cut the gun off the normal Shadowhawk and then put it on the Shadowhawk 2C. But I need like that, seeing someone else do it, to be like, I can do that. I have free will. You've shown me the path. I will follow in your footsteps. So thank you for that.
Nice.
Yeah.
I might have missed those. There's a lot of really good photos end up in that channel. So I might have missed those specifically, but I did see your next one.
J4 Head's conversion for doing their Mad Cat stepping on a 3D print. Like to just, snap that leg, twist it up. He's, oh Lord, where he going?
Up and over, as it were.
Yeah.
But no, it's good. It's good stuff. I love seeing all the stuff people put out.
Yeah. Our Hobby Progress channel is hopping. If you don't think we're watching, we're watching.
We're watching. We may not always comment or thumbs up or flame emoji or whatever the hot emoji is at the moment, but we do see.
Okay. Well, do you have any other Hobby Progress, or you want to chug it along?
I mean, so the problem is I haven't finished anything. So it's like, it's hard to report that like, I've got this done. I don't. I've been fussing with contrast paints and yellows for my canopins. They look good. I'm worried I didn't do quite enough dry brushing, so I might strip and try again. I'll find out. And I did get some more panels blocked out on some of my Free Worlds League stuff. I got a pile of half done stuff sitting on my computer desk staring at me. So
it happens.
I got tired of it and did some paneling last night. Because I didn't finish anything, I also wanted to give a shout out of something I saw that I thought was very cool in our Discord. Ezric is in the process of painting an HPG station for terrain for their maps.
Mm-hmm.
And he decided to add a very humble piece of graffiti. I don't know if you saw it, but
I did see it. Yeah.
Nikolai Malthus's enhanced imaging tattoos as like graffiti on the corner of the building. It's all freehand. It's got actually surprisingly nice like glow. He's got like the different colors to make it look like it's glowing. And I love it. I want to give it 2 Falcon Claws up.
Is that just what does it for you, Steve? Just a little like, Jade Falcon, like accoutrement to like regular things.
I love it. I love it. Look, stick wings on something. Give all these people painting Aces boxes, painting those Jade Falcons. It makes my soul happy. Because now, if people want to badmouth Falcons, I can at least point at them and say, you have them too. You're no worse than me. You're no better than me. It's great. We're all on the same level.
Oh, Steve. Let's get into some games played then. All right. For me, guess what, Steve?
You didn't play anything, did you, Josh?
I have not played any BattleTech, but that's okay. I've done 2 things instead. First off, I've been playing Phantom Brigade on Steam, which I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it on the air so I can get roasted in the episode chat on the Discord. Is Phantom Brigade is a better HBS BattleTech than HBS BattleTech was a BattleTech game.
That's a pretty bold claim.
For me, the hater, the certified hater for a lot of things.
I mean, I saw you play a little bit. I was also panicking at the time, so I didn't like, really pay attention to a lot of the mechanics. It looked kind of neat, but it also was more of like a fluid, runny robot game as opposed to a big stompy robot game.
Yeah, it's definitely much more like that front mission. That's the one. Front mission, like mechs move fast, but it's simultaneous actions. And I was like, well, that's more Battletech than HBS was. So
that's true.
Yeah,
it's true.
Yeah, I can see everything the opponent's going to do to me. I was like, yeah, I get to salvage their mechs and make my own Franken mechs with their arms and legs and reactors. I was like, wait a second.
Hey, so, look, I'm gonna have to take a closer look at this because you're right. You normally do poo-poo a lot of stuff. So if you're saying it's that great, I'll check it out.
Yeah. So that was video game. I don't talk about that a lot, but then I got some Halo Flashpoint games in, Steve.
Josh.
Look, I told myself January, I'm going to try new things. I'm going to do new things. I'm going to make positive changes in my life. I'll come back to Battletech. We both got tournaments coming up.
Look.
Yeah. Yeah, I got time. But I wanted to mention that I played Halo Flashpoint because I got to technically play two Battletech players that I interact with like adjacently, but have not played. I'm literally trying to think. I think I played one of them like 3 or 4 years ago. That's how long.
Wow.
So for me to play Jason and Austin at Hangar 18, I was like, I know you. We're in the same Battletech Discords. Like, you listen to my podcast. You know who I am. Why have we not played in like forever? And it's like just, ships in the night kind of thing. But it's like, oh, we can meet for Halo Flashpoint. And I played Jason the first week. Had a great time. ODST dropping. I killed Master Chief like multiple times. It was hilarious. Master Chief's a punk in my house.
We're about to get a lot of very angry people in the Discord.
Oh, I'm riling them up.
I don't even like Halo, but I know that's going to piss people off.
Yeah. But then I played Austin, and he ran elites against my ODST, and I was quite humbled. So his brother avenged him and straight up murdered me. Though there's nothing funnier than an elite trying to punch your ODST captain and just like bouncing off that tinfoil armor. It's like, come on, man, roll better than that, and then just punching him back.
The elites are the wart guys with the sword?
Wart guys with the sword.
Good.
You're doing good, Steve.
I know something about Halo. Yay.
But no, it'll be good to get back to Battletech. But right now, it's also like nice to learn new tactics and new things and then take it back to Battletech. Like, oh,
sure.
Yeah. At least that's how I'm selling it to my other half of my brain.
Mm-hmm. Got to justify.
Got to justify it. All right, Steve. Those are my games. What have you done on the table?
Not much. I got 2 turns of a Battletech game in.
Whoa, that's 100% more than I got in.
It's okay because 2 turns is all we needed, and you're about to hear about it. So this is not a Tales from the Hiring Hall because the Wicked Hogs have not finished their 6-month contract. But this first game of that contract needed to be discussed in a little bit more detail than a general recap is going to give. It lasted 2 turns.
Oh, no.
I played my buddy Carl.
Oh, no.
I ran the Galloglass and the Longbow 14C with all the MMLs.
I know what Galloglass has. It has a Gauss rifle.
I was so excited. Here we go. He ran an Archer and he ran a Hunchback. The old school Hunchback. With that AC-20.
Mm.
He got to deploy wherever he wanted on his half the map. So the Archer was in the back. That Hunchback was right at the county line. He was as far up as he could get it. First one to destroy more than 50% of the opponent's battle value won the game. Nice. First turn. Galloglass deploys on one side of the map. Longbow deploys on the other. Hunchback charges. Pretty standard.
Yeah.
We fire some missiles. 1 cluster of 5 hits the Hunchback in the head. Love it. Guy stays standing, stays conscious. Okay. No great shakes. It's turn 1, whatever.
Yeah.
Turn 2. Close. Everyone closes up. My longbow was deployed on the far side of the map because I was trying to split because I didn't know where he was going to deploy.
Yeah,
right.
No. Covering lanes of fire, kind of.
Right.
Tactics.
And it's got a lot of range with those MMLs, so I could shoot the LRMs and kind of figure like, I'll shoot and walk for it. It'll be fine. Well, things were not fine. Things were fine to start. The Gallowglass jumps behind cover, partial cover with the legs, fires everything at the Hunchback 3 hexes away, promptly puts a large laser straight through his cockpit.
5 + 8 = more than 11.
Love it. He rolls skin to the teeth. His pilot, Rick O'Connell, poof, pops out the back, in the ICU for a long time. But he's alive. And I'm
okay.
We got the Hunchback. Here's the problem. That Hunchback is the lesser of the 2 battle value units. So I'm thinking, I got to go after that Archer. That's fine. I'll salvage this Hunchback and we'll be in good shape. Oh, how hubris doth come before the fall, because all damage in Battletech is simultaneous, and that Hunchback is allowed to fire all of his weapons before the turn is over, and he fires an AC-20 straight through the cockpit of the Gallowglass. I rolled that skin to the teeth, and old mama pops out the back. She's fine. The problem is the Gallowglass is my more expensive of the 2 units, and because it'll happen in the same turn, technically, he was the first one to cripple or destroy more than half of my units. Now, the fun thing about the games that Carl and I play is that we have written personalities for each of our pilots.
Interesting.
So his Archer pilot was Benny. And Benny is a coward. So he sees a Gallowglass punch Rick O'Connell's face off with a large laser, simultaneously getting its head blown off by the AC-20. From around the next hill, a Longbow 14C rolls around totally fresh, and he goes, "It's time to cut a deal. You take yours, I'll take mine, and we'll leave the field of battle." And I had to roll because my pilot in the Longbow, I called him Ratchet. He was a new hire. He's trying to make a name for himself. So I take a D10 and we roll just to see how the character's going to react. And he literally rolls a 1. And I said, if it's a 1 or a 2, he'll take the deal, get off the field, and make sure that, his fellow pilot's okay. But anything higher than that, if it's a 3 or up, he's going to fight to the death out of rage for the loss of the Gallowglass. And I rolled a 1. So he pulls off the field. We repair our mechs. Both old mama and Rick O'Connell are in the ICU for the foreseeable future. So technically I lost the game, but, I like to think I called it a draw because that was a pretty exciting end to the mission. So
there's only 2 hits, me hitting you and you hitting me.
That's it. The game was over. It took 2 turns. Plop, plop. So good times. And that's Battletech, baby. That's how it goes.
I love a quick, succinct, short level 1 game. Scale 1.
We spent more time
setting up,
rolling our contracts, setting the map up, deploying, and then bing boom, it was over. So, but it's fun. It's fun. And when I finish that contract, which will hopefully be relatively soon, we'll get the full recap from Tales from the Hiring Hall.
Can't wait to hear it, especially with the game started off like that.
I hope all the other games are nearly as exciting, except I'd like to win more.
Next time, take Arrow 4.
What could possibly go wrong?
Nothing.
So, Josh, this is how I got my black eye.
Yeah. Good news. I played 3 turns. Bad news. All right. Let's talk about some upcoming events because it's new year. All the tournament spaces are starting to shake up, land. We're seeing it. Chronological order, my dude. First off, we got Genghis Khan, February 19th through 22nd in Aurora, Colorado. Tell me about that one, Steve.
They've got narrative events. They've got casual play. And when I looked at the event listings, I did not see much in the way of tournaments, but it looked like a good time. And if I had a little bit more flexibility on my schedule, I'd consider headed out that way. But Genghis Khan looks like it would be fun if you're into narrative events.
Yeah. The next one, me and you are both going to. Have we booked a hotel yet, Steve? All right, we will be at Brawl in the Bluegrass. Perhaps, maybe, we might be sleeping outside at this point, but that is March 6th through the 8th in Lexington, Kentucky. I think that's full, but as always, if people drop, you know what? It's one of those things worth looking and checking for and messaging.
I had so much fun last year. I really did. Between the Blood Name tournament, the
Speed paint.
Even just the Alpha Strike and Classic tournaments are a really good time. So Jeff does a really nice job running that. If you get the opportunity to go next year or even this year, if there's time, certainly check it out.
Have you decided what you're taking this year?
In the interest of time and painting, I will probably bring my Snow Ravens. I think I've got a list already built that I think is going to work okay.
Okay.
And I am not confident that I'm going to have my Canopans done in time. So,
yeah, I think at this point, I was like, do I have time? Then I looked over and I was like, we're playing Halo Flashpoint. I don't think we got time.
The stars are wrong.
Yeah. I took Davians last year. I don't think I'll take them this year. They did a little too much damage, racked a little hard, got exploded, little deadly. So, but we're going to have fun no matter what. So,
yeah, I think that's what I want. I mean, I have some things I want to bring. I got some meme lists I kind of want to put together.
We're keeping it casual.
We'll try. I mean, as casual as we can keep it. You got to kind of beat that part of your list building brain down with a stick.
It's easy. I'm playing Halo Flashpoint right now. I don't have time. What do you take? What was paid and what was legal to take? I haven't even looked at the packet yet. I'm pulling an MRC. I'm not reading. Someone will warn me.
It's an MRC valid tournament, so you're perfectly fine.
Next one, we have Adepticon. That is March 25th through 29th. They got
moved it.
Yeah.
It's in Milwaukee, I think.
It's in Milwaukee.
That's farther west than Chicago.
So you're not going this year?
Honestly, it snuck up on me because I was checking things around. I saw people in Discord, oh, Adepticon's open, book your tickets. I'm like, I didn't even check on what days they are. So I took a look. There are some tournaments. There's some stuff going on. There's BTCC and there's some Wolfnet stuff. A lot of narrative things.
The different one in this year is the Instant Action Tournament. So I think like the Thunderhead Gale Force 9 people are doing that one, putting that on. So that's the new one on the scene. I was tempted to take something real stupid to their format, but I decided not to. So I will not be at Adepticon. You will not be at Adepticon. I think if there were more fun, like I want to say first off, there's like 100 Battletech events. Most of them are grinder or like narrative things or Battletech missions. So if you don't have people locally, that's a great thing to do to get like the full gambit of Battletech experience. Like you want to do campaign and then grinder and then tournament. Perfect. If you can do that locally, like me and you, take it or
there's
leave.
Less drive. Yeah. I mean, it's a cool time. I met a lot of cool people at Adepticon. I mean, I really think back to who I met at Adepticon.
Yeah.
Right. I met Denim for the first time at Adepticon. I met Jeff for the first time at Adepticon. Mm-hmm. Right. Vapor. I mean, we met Vapor for the first time there.
Can't forget Vapor.
No, of course not. But you met all these people like, I ended up playing with and meeting Anthony Scroggins, which was cool. You just got to run into a whole bunch of folks there. Mm-hmm. So you're bound to rub elbows with somebody, I don't know if Denim's going this year. I don't know.
Don't think so.
Okay. Oh yes. For those at home, Denim is currently on vacation. We've also locked him in the archives to look up whether or not receiving gifts counts as hobby progress.
Someone give him the answer. He's not allowed food until he gives us the answer.
We need it. But yeah. Adepticon's cool. Since they moved a little bit further west, it's harder for me to drive there. So there's a little bit less incentive to go. I don't really want to jump a plane.
That's okay. That's okay. I think I mentioned I still need a real ID to fly, so I got to work things out, slide some 20s across some admin's desk before I go to Kentucky. Yeah.
Just go with your passport and answer some questions, and then they give you a cool star on your passport.
Step one, have to have a passport.
You need to hurry up if you need that to fly to Kentucky.
There he is. That's the Steve I was waiting for.
Like, wait, concern.
All right. Fourth event, Trash Panda Open, April 11th and 12th, Newport News, Virginia. Good old Aon PG and the folks down in the 757 are putting that on.
Yeah. I think that this is going to be a very nautical themed event. I've been talking to Gene and Dan, and I've seen some of the tables they're putting out. A lot of warships. So it looks like a good time. I wish I could go. Just that's like 2 weeks, 3
It's
weeks
okay.
before
It's okay.
Motor City. So
I understand.
I want to go to all the events, Josh.
You got to stop doing things.
The
problem is you can't be a community like innovator, like leader. You can't be running events if you want to travel and plan events. Like you got to have like Dalai Lama give away all your possessions. You have your one list and you just like, this is what I do every month. I go to a new tournament. But no, Steve's got to be on a podcast, got to play games, got to not play Halo Flashpoint,
got to balance work, life, family.
Oh yeah,
time.
that whole thing too. Oh, completely forgot. Ooh. All right, folks, check in on your loved ones for me.
Make sure they know you're still alive.
Last one. Richmond City Open, May 1st through 3rd. I'll be at this one because that's
cool.
Only 2.5 hour drive.
That's not bad.
No. I had to be persuaded though, guys. I'm going to be honest. They're also doing Halo Flashpoint there. And I was like,
gosh.
All right.
You know we didn't talk about at Adepticon?
What?
The one thing that might have made me go to Adepticon.
Oh, yeah.
They have a Gaslands tournament. And I'm like, ooh, I could do that. But not enough. Not enough to pull me out.
No. But no. So I'll be at the Richmond City Open playing Battletech. What I'll take, who knows? I'm thinking I can get stupid because this is using the same like triangle tournament thing that I took Pirates to this year. I was like, that was fun. Losing, but also winning with, hands tied behind my back. Maybe I'll do something good. Something stupid. So keep your ears open.
So Clan Wolf?
No, I said stupid,
What's the
not
difference?
Dumb. Oh.
I gotta get my jabs in.
Yeah. On that note, let's take a quick break before we get into our main subject of the day. Conventional infantry. Ugh.
Have you always wanted to touch a rhinoceros? Have you ever wanted to saddle up a bison? Have you wanted to lead a flying hippopotamus into battle and strike fear into the hearts of your enemies? Of course you have. Sign up for our brand aerial infantry lessons today. Learn how to master tactical flying in high-stress environments, get a unique perspective on the battlefield, and stay away from the heaviest fighting. You'll be issued your very own elephant gun, and you'll be in control of the widest bore and fire the heaviest ammo of any shoulder-fired ballistic weapon in the Free Worlds League. Just don't fire both barrels at the same time. Get yourself back in the saddle and visit Lopez in the Free Worlds League. Join us today and learn how to handle that monster between your legs.
All right, we are back. And today we're talking about conventional infantry. Why are we talking about conventional infantry, Steve?
Well, they're not battle armor.
Correct, yes.
And they're there.
And they're also there.
They're in Battletech. We don't see them a lot, which is neither here nor there. I mean, I was about to say it's a shame, but I'm not sure that it is after doing research for this episode.
I mean, do we just want to get to the elephant in the room right now before we even talk about, what they are? Like, why don't we see conventional infantry a lot?
They kind of suck.
They suck.
They're just dudes with guns.
I mean, in a game where it's giant robot with gun and it's dude with gun,
the dude's going to lose 9 times out of 10.
Man versus car. Oh, yeah, it's never an upset. Yeah, I really do think, especially in the modern Battletech era of Clan, where things are doing so much damage, heat, plasmas everywhere, speed is insane, armor, hasn't been a lot of armor changes, but dude with gun just doesn't hold up.
No, I think it's important that they exist. I think it's important that we have rules for them, especially given, how narrative Battletech is and has been, the role-playing elements for all of that. I think it's important that you have, dudes with guns and you have stats for them so you can get a realistic representation of how a dude with a gun would fare against a tank, or, VTOL or anything else, right? Mechs and all that jazz. I think they're important. I'm glad they're there. I don't want to see them. I don't want to fight them, but
I think a lot of this boils down to infantry. Like, we want to play our quick, faster games. Like, we want to be done in 3 hours, and infantry is not conducive to that a lot.
No, I'm predominantly a Battle Mech Manual classic player, right? It's just easy. It's all in one book. Occasionally a splash of battle armor, but those rules are pretty straightforward, and battle armor are functional. They can do things. They can actually harm a mech. Now, I'm sure we're about to get a glut of people saying, but this one time my conventional infantry did this. And I'm sure you're right. I'm sure it did. I'm sure it was awesome.
Send those stories into the Mechbay podcast at gmail.com, please. I want to listen. Well, I guess I want to read, because it's an email format, not audio format for you, listener. But I want to read about your, heroic tales of infantry doing infantry things. But
maybe we'll contact Chip Darrington to read some of these heroic stories of the Innersphere. But Josh, do you think we should change our games to include these things?
So I've thought a lot about this, like a lot, because they are so central to Battletech's roots. Like, they were, originally just tokens that were thrown into the original box sets kind of thing, but not like build infantry. Like, what they are was not how they are now. Should we change our games? The ways I've thought about changing them would change how we play Battletech as a whole, and it would feel wrong to change mech combat to accommodate this like 100 PV thing. Like, okay, I can play a scale 0.3 game. Like, okay, everyone gets 1,000 BV. And it's like, okay, that's still like a spider or a locust or like an Ontos. Do I really need the 28 guys with gun at that level still?
Not.
No.
Probably not. No.
Yeah. So they don't even scale well at the low end. So they definitely don't scale well at the high end, where people are like, we want more BV to take more elite pilots.
Well, what if instead of scaling it, what if we convert them to a BSP? Does that work?
I feel like even Denim touched on this in the last episode. The infantry's BSP problem is the way BSP infantry works, both battle armor and infantry, is the moving first. When you are slow and have normally very little range against things like mechs that are still moving, the average mech can move your entire movement and shooting range at like in one turn, and it's like, oh, if you didn't move yours perfectly where they want to go, you don't get to activate. So there's not a whole lot of point in taking infantry unless you're taking like a city map where there's stupid levels of choke points. So I don't think the infantry as BSP solve the problem. I think if the only way it ever becomes relevant is if vehicles have to move first because they have range, they have like movement profiles, it's different, and then the infantry, the battle armor and the conventional infantry move whenever they want in the mech phase.
I think for me, the infantry BSP issue really comes down to how many points they are.
They're more expensive. They are priced as if they were always doing something.
And they're not. And the problem is you have to invest in a transport to get them anywhere in any sort of reasonable amount of time.
Mm-hmm. Or it just has to be the mission that lets you forward deploy them. And even then, it's like, okay, if I'm forward deploying them with like buildings to protect, that's fine. But rarely, unless it's like scanning where the opponent has to get right up next to the building. Like that is the only scenario where they're effective. And I've used them. I've put infantry to protect my buildings. And when they came to scan and they got legged, I was like, okay, infantry, here's your
I'll get them.
Here's your emotional support target that's -4 to hit because it's on the ground and immobile and adjacent to you. And oh, cool, you get an extra group of 5 damage. Like that's what the BSP infantry get when they're next to in place of swarming. So
I mean, I think their use is extremely niche, and maybe it was designed that way, right? Maybe, but I don't think they're useful enough to take.
No, I think back when people were playing like 8-hour games, like Tukey had wore game scenarios where like each side has 20 mechs and like 30 different infantry tokens and tanks and all that. I think they were cool because they were like the little thing where, okay, you don't want your mech to go down near them because they will do damage to you before you can react. Like they're there. They're the piranhas and ankle biters on the table that they punish the slow mechs. If you get lagged, you get crippled. I mean, we talked about it, all the playtest stuff. If you get legged or gyroed or anything like that, you are not moving very fast until like a recovery unit can come get you. So those infantry coming to get you is very nasty. But that is the only scenario. Like they are not really offensive because they're too slow and too short range normally.
So now I want a shrapnel story that is written in the form of a horror short story of a mech who's been gyroed or legged, and he's trying to get away as the infantry slowly continue to approach his downed mech. And he's waiting on help. It's like, no, they're coming. Oh, God. Someone write it. Make it happen.
I love that. The other problem is a lot of mech weapons are designed to kill infantry. Like, not even... I don't need a second turn to wipe the squad levels of kill.
Well, we'll talk about that in a minute when we get the damage. So,
from my perspective, I don't want to take infantry that will die and not get used, and that's a tough sell for infantry.
So you want battle armor.
Battle armor are literally just better infantry. They've always, from day one, they were.
Always have been.
So, Steve, do we want to get into like the different types of infantry? Because when I think infantry, I just think guy with rifle and boots, but there's other kinds.
Yeah, there's a lot, actually. I was surprised when we were looking into this how many different types there were.
Yeah. All right, so the different types of conventional infantry. We have our foot infantry, good old G.I. Joe.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it's exactly what you think, folks. Then you've got motorized. And this is when you have to like start imagining what the trooper has. These are more like motorcycles or ATVs. So they can go pretty much wherever regular foot infantry can go. They just go faster because they get on their little bikes and pedal into wherever they need to go.
You ever see Mad Max Fury Road?
I have not.
Oh my God. Really?
Yeah.
That's a great film.
Wait, the like original one or like the newish one?
Mad Max Fury Road with the one that came out like 2008 maybe?
Yeah, I'm behind. I know.
I'm shocked you've never seen it. There's a scene, I'm not spoiling anything, but there's a scene where there are a bunch of dudes on motorcycles with grenades. That's what I picture when I think of motorized infantry. Just guys with like rockets and grenades and throwables on
that's exactly what they are. Yeah. I do like the movement restriction for motorized is no water, like no depth 0 or depth 1, no water. Like, of course, the motorcycle can't go into the puddles. Like, that would be bad. The next type, jump infantry. It's literally just foot infantry with a jump pack or something that lets them jump.
Moon boots.
I like that. Pogo sticks. Pogo sticks. Yeah. The only bad thing is they have the same restrictions like all of the jump battle armor that we always think about, which isn't like any terrain. It's just like, cool, you jump 3. I would just take battle armor that jump 3.
If you got to be choosy.
Yeah. And then
that's not this episode.
No, this episode was like, we're going to do this. We got to talk about the bad. The last one is mechanized infantry. And this one is probably the largest like sub unit, and that is you got multiple types. You've got light, like wheeled mechanized, and that means you can't go into rough rubble, woods, or water. And that is like think about like a light APC. Like I don't want to say like a Humvee, but that's probably the closest like actual thing that's in real life that would be mechanized infantry.
I'm gonna be honest. Mm-hmm. In my brain, I read mechanized and thought motorized. So I was kind of surprised to come across this one. I'm like, hey, why'd you write down the motorcycle guys twice.
Yeah. I got that confused a lot, like which one is which. The next one is mechanized hover infantry. They can go on all water because they're not going through it, they're going above it, but they cannot go into any woods. And they, of course, have the highest speed because why wouldn't they? And then the last one is tracked mechanized. This is like your half-track infantry from World War II. Like, they've got the good all-terrain vehicles. They can go in depth zero water, which I thought was very funny because there are those maps where we were like, why do we have depth zero water? That's literally the reason, because there's infantry restrictions for depth zero water.
Nice. Like those open top duck boats.
Yeah. Like they don't care about the puddles, the deep puddles. The only problem is they can't go into heavy woods, which is fine because, well, you're mechanized.
Infantry.
Yeah.
Like never.
The problem is with all mechanized is you get no anti-mech or swarm attacks because you can't drive your APC up the leg of the mech.
You want to watch me try?
I want to see you try.
I'll do it.
All right. So what do we think about these types? They're pretty standard. Like they really cover anything that most conventional armies would have.
I mean, you missed one.
I missed one? Which one did I miss?
You missed the aerial beast-mounted infantry. The guys who ride dragons. Maybe they're just big chickens. I don't know. But they're there.
Are they there?
I love them.
This is when I look. It's like, technically they're foot infantry for rules purposes.
Well, they're aerial beast-mounted infantry. Yeah. And they're rad.
And they're on foot.
Yeah. Dinosaur bird feet.
What's it? Agree to disagree.
Good save, Steve. Good save.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk about little construction rules because we're trying to paint the picture here. Squad size is normally 7 across most of the inner sphere. A 7-man squad, that sounds normal. And then you got your platoon. That's 28 dudes. That is 4 squads of 7. That's important because you look at a lot of like Star League or Alpha Strike, like what infantry size they can take, and it's like, this can't fit the whole squad. And it's
like the cargo counts on a lot of these are like cargo 32. You're like, what? Cargo 28? I can't fit this in a Maxim. Come on.
Yeah. So that's why, because some things are literally designed to take 7 dudes, which barely take up like a ton of space. I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. It's terrible, but it makes sense. And of course, clans, because they're clans, they want to have 5 squads of 5 dudes for a total of 25 dudes.
Makes sense to me.
Makes sense. Oh man, next one's going to blow your mind. Comstar and Word of Plague.
Let me guess. 6.
By 6. That's right.
Ooh.
36 dudes. The issue is the Battletech record sheets are not designed for that level of infantry per paper. So you have to legally run them as 2 half platoons. Of 8.
That's funny.
So a Comstar one is 18 guys. Depending on where you get the thing, the BV is for the full 36, and you just run 2 squads or 2 half platoons of 18. I was like, this didn't need to be this complicated, folks.
Those 2 half platoons can move independently?
Yes.
Huh?
I mean, depending on how you want to play, yes or no. Yeah. But it's just one. I mean, even in this, the squads can separate themselves. It's just for rules purposes. That's what a platoon is, and that's what a squad is. And the squad can, have its own dedicated transport, be dropped off somewhere, and that's just that small section on your record sheet. Interesting. Yeah. Is it effective to do that? Probably not, but yeah.
I'm afraid this is going to be a recurring theme in this episode.
Yeah, that's why we had to do it when Denham wasn't here, because he's going to be screaming listening to this one.
They work. I swear to God, you're just using them wrong. You guys are idiots.
Yeah, we are. Now, the other thing is once you start getting into like those different types of infantry, the squad sizes change. If you take a foot infantry, like I said, we just 28-man squad of 7. Jump, you get 7-man squads, but you only get 3 of them. Yeah, those jump packs, they take up the space of the other guys, apparently.
Should have invested in moon boots.
Yeah. Hover infantry, 5-man squads. 4 squads.
Why did they do this?
Mechanized, wheeled, 6-man squads, 4 squads. We joke about it, like we're laughing and crying to ourselves, and it's probably 100% like to keep a tonnage balance kind of thing, and they just determine that's the best way to like normalize damage and movement profiles. But yeah, it's kind of like now technically you can make whatever size you want, like you're not required. That's just the normal canonical intersphere division of units in a army.
I have to wonder if some of this minutia is derived from the roleplay elements.
Oh, right? So much so, Steve. So much so. We'll get there next. Because when you're making these imaging squads, there are 4 pages of tables of weapons that they can take. Just weapons, not even full equipment, just the weapons. And 98% of those are literally just Mechwarrior, the RPG, and a Time of War things that got converted over into classic Battletech. You know, my Mauser 2C 960 laser pulse rifle that I love on my like airy power armor because it's a power armor gun. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That's a Mechwarrior RPG thing that got converted to be a classic Battletech thing. He's shaking his head, folks.
I'm going to shake my head on that audio only format.
There you go.
I can only express my disdain in so many new and colorful words that are friendly for families.
Yeah, so when you're building these or choosing one from the many, many canonical ones, you pick your primary weapon, and depending on what it is, you can get your secondary weapon. You can even choose crude weapons, and you can get 2 crude weapons per squad normally, depending on which one. This is where you can get like your LRMs in your squad of like guys with machine guns. So squad support weapon is what battle armor has, and then you get squad crude weapons, almost like heavy machine gun. Not every dude in the platoon has a heavy machine gun. No, you got the dedicated machine gunner. He gets the machine gun. You get the rifle. So like they definitely were trying to base this off of regular military things instead of the specialization that we see in like a lot of other Battletech units.
Yeah, I think it's a page 213 that just has the entire conventional infantry unit table with the number of troopers inside of them and the movement and all the weapon types.
Yeah. This is also surprisingly where Tech Manual is much better at infantry because it breaks it down completely. So, I don't know. But yeah, here's the fun part. You want to give your guys armor, like different things to wear, not just guns and t-shirts. You got to go to TAC Ops for that, Steve.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you get your fancy full combat armors past the 30-30s. But also not all factions use them. Yeah, your free world stuff, they don't pay for full plate.
Look, this is why no one runs conventional infantry, because you need 3 books to sort it out, and it's too much. It's too much for like a Tuesday night game.
It is too much for a Tuesday night game. This is where I had to look up like what is a damage divisor, because if you look in like the actual official record sheets, you'll see some have damage divisors or like damage divisor 1E, and you're like, what's that? Well, damage divisor, you add up all the damage, then you divide by the divisor. So if you're dividing by 2, you take half damage. You got a 1E. Oh, that means you're encumbered. You get -1 movement point. It's like, what? No one needed that.
Yeah, it's something you realize that you don't want or need until you have it.
Yeah. But this is where you get a lot of your like special keywords. Like if this was Alpha Strike, this would be like where you get keywords. So you give like, oh, gun is gun, but spacesuit lets me go into 0 atmosphere or environmentally toxic.
Your seal secondary. Yeah.
So this is where you get all those cool things. Like, okay, I really want this to be like a specific flavor of infantry. I want sneak suits. I want desk suits. I want that. I want to make these infantry as close to what they would actually be. This is where you go. So right now we're at Total Warfare, Tech Manual, and TAC Ops.
I'm sure you've got another book hidden in these notes somewhere for us, Josh.
Probably. All right, Steve. That's the how like what constitutes the infantry. Do we want to talk about rules now?
Josh, how do I move these little guys on my map?
Just like mechs, technically. Right?
It can't be that easy. It can't be that easy. I reject your premise, sir.
I mean, it's not that easy, but first off, they don't have any facing and they don't have any direction. So you can move them forward, backward, or anything. So there's no turning for infantry. That's better, right?
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's nice. I mean, when you only get to move like 2 hexes, I guess that's really important.
That is the problem. Like the average infantry profile is like 1-1. They move 1 hex. Now, because they're conventional infantry, they get a lot of like, you can move into this light woods freely because, well, you're not as big of a tree, so you can just walk through the trees.
You don't have to knock the tree over to get into that hex. You can just walk around it.
Yeah. So that's like my favorite give me for infantry is they can technically move faster in that way, but they don't move fast.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, they still can't go into water.
They've got way more restrictions on water.
I was going to say, like, yeah, you can't. Yeah.
But remember, like, what was the old 30-25 map? A lot of woods and a lot of open space or a lot of buildings.
That's true. Not much. Yeah. There's that one. The BattleTech original map has a little tiny pool of water in it.
Yeah.
It's not real big, but.
No, but back in the day, the Black Knights used to fight over the kiddie pool. It's my turn for the single heat sinks in the legs to cool off. So, yeah, and like for buildings, it's -1 MP to enter. So that means they just get into the building. Like they don't have to like break down the doors. They just open the door and go through. So they are uniquely designed to get through terrain.
Yeah. And then, well, they are limited to moving no more than 1 level per turn unless they're jumping infantry.
Unless they're jumping
There's a
infantry
restriction as well.
All right, well, that's movement. Pretty basic. Combat now. Oh my gosh, they didn't have a facing for movement. Guess what? They don't have a facing for shooting either. 360, boys.
Nice. 360 no scope.
Yeah. Where do you think battle armor got it from? This is where it sucks, though, Steve. That range. You think their range would be standard across all infantry?
You would hope.
Yeah. You got 4 tables. 4 tables of specific weapons and what their ranges are. No, you got to look on each sheet. Good luck memorizing. I don't even know what foot ballistic infantry's range is and foot energy infantry's range is, like off the top of my head. Like I know I have them written down, but I don't know because there's so many different types and it completely depends on what equipment they have. So it's not standardized.
I know the BSPs are standardized. They're 1, 2, 3 for range. I know that.
Yeah. So it makes me angry, Steve. But just like battle armor, you don't add movement mods. So, when you move that 1 hex and you shoot, you're good. There's no penalty for moving because that'd be real sad.
Yeah. Yeah, it would kind of suck. I moved my 1 hex and now I can't hit anything.
The good part is that infantry is like the original pulse, because if you're normally aiming in the same hex, because first off, they can shoot in the same hex as their target. They normally get it's a -2 to hit normally, depending on what equipment they have. -2s back in the day, bet people were like freaking out about that.
Assuming they ever got in the same hex as anything.
Like I said, you're probably shut down. You're an immobilized tank that needs to die. They're a bunker or something stupid. And you're getting -2 to hit it. That's pretty good. Yeah, sure, they're already immobile, but or you put them in the woods that the spider is going to jump into. Right. Yeah. Steve, you wrote down that they got some damage types. They got their ballistic, they got their energy, they got their missile, their point blank weapons, and they got some special features. Why don't you tell me about them special features?
I mean, they've got like anti-air weapons and heavy burst weapons, flamer-based weapons, and non-penetrating weapons. I couldn't tell you why those are good or what they do, because this is the part of the rules where my eyes started to glaze over, and I was like, yeah, okay, I'm going to read these at some point.
Yeah, I mean, they do exactly what you would think they do. The anti-air weapons let you target aerospace fighters. Oh boy. Because, infantry with flak gun, like towed behind their little APC. That's cool. Heavy burst weapons, probably better about killing infantry themselves.
Only conventional infantry.
Yeah.
Only conventional infantry.
Flame.
And your flamers do
Flamer things.
Causing damage stuff, and non-penetrating weapons are, they can only affect other non-conventional infantry. There are a lot of these weird, it's like a weird set of rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah.
And to be perfectly honest, I don't think it adds much.
No.
To me. I mean, I'm sure someone out there is going to say that conventional infantry is the way to go, and this is my quintessential battle tech, and you can't take this away from me. But a lot of this feels very niche.
This is niche, and it slows the game down because I didn't realize how standardized, because battle armor use battle mech weapons 90-ish % of the time, that go into completely different things. Like battle armor on battle armor, yes, there are advanced rules about that. Other than that, small laser hits dude, does 3 damage. That's it.
Yep.
This one, it's like, okay, my infantry shoots your infantry. Okay, we have to check what equipment they have. Are you in the open? How much damage? What type of weapon? Like all that. And it's like, that's terrible. Why would you do that? Why would you shoot me? Now we have to look it up in the rules.
Well, the one advantage, right? The one advantage of a conventional infantry is the ability to soak damage, very similar to how battle armor works, right? You got to figure out which troopers are getting hit, how much they're taking, how many troopers are dying, which does give the interesting kind of element here that when you start to lose more conventional infantrymen, your damage starts to drop off and your modifiers change, which is interesting and neat. I mean, you got to fight through 28 guys to get them off the map, but it's a lot. I mean, I guess there is some advantage. They're surprisingly durable.
Yeah,
quote, in air quotes, durable. I mean, you use the right weapon, they're going to get turned into ground beef. But
no, I mean, for your opponent that only wants to use Gauss rifles or AC-20s, infantry is kind of the answer. It sucks and it's slow, but the infantry will kill the hunchback before the hunchback kills the infantry most of the time.
Yeah. I mean, granted, as soon as anything has a machine gun, they're going to deal an extra 1d6 points of damage to the conventional infantry, and flamers, other, area of effect weapons get an extra d6 for damage.
Yeah.
Right.
And then it depends on, do you have a small pulse laser? Well, that's a different type of more d6s. And it's just like, stop with the d6s.
Yeah.
So one thing we didn't talk about, how the damage from the infantry squad is applied. It's all cluster. They essentially are a walking cluster 28. So when you shoot, you have to roll to see how many of the troopers decided to hit. I don't got the 28 cluster table memorized.
No. But you do group it into 2 points of damage, though. So it's kind of just turns like a walking SRM pool.
Yeah. Which is okay.
Yeah.
But it's not that because it's doing 2 damage, I don't feel like it does anything on its own. What you're doing is either fishing for head hits, fishing for crits, or you're hopefully shooting something that's already open.
I mean, it's kind of like an SRM 14. That's kind of good when you put it that way.
It's kind of good that way, but when your range is low and your
part.
I know. It's a hard sell. Like on paper, you think it looks good, but it's like, okay, cool. You got to hit me one time. I didn't fall. I kept going. But you're also not normally going to hit the full 28-man squad.
No. Unless you roll a 12, in which case, good for you.
And also, your damage is very rarely 1 damage per trooper. It's like 0.3 on average.
I only give them 1 damage weapons. Shh. But, yeah. Something else that's kind of cool about conventional infantry.
Mm-hmm.
Stealth armor doesn't work against them.
Oh.
They got that good old Mark 1 eyeball. They can see you. They don't have fancy sensors. But mimetic and camo systems do work against conventional infantry because, surprise, when you put a bush in front of a tank, the old Mark 1 eyeball can't see the tank.
I mean, I do like that stealth armor has 2 weaknesses, and it's conventional infantry and melee. You can't beat eye or fist. So Yeah, I like it. And yeah, taking damage, you touched on that a little bit, that so many anti-infantry weapons do extra damage. Each trooper has normally 1 health, like that is how they're represented on the sheet. So each time you take 1 damage, a trooper is killed.
Each instance of 1 or more damage,
yeah.
Right?
If they are in the open, if like your foot infantry is just in the clear, hex, they take double damage. So I don't know, like an AC, it depends on the weapon. And I promised myself we weren't going to talk about which weapon did which damage to which infantry, because I knew Denim would scream.
I mean, we're probably going to mess this up, but that's okay.
But the cool thing is, for cluster weapons, you don't roll for the cluster. They just automatically hit the full against the squad. So, yeah. So your SRMs, those things, they're great against killing infantry, because you're just aiming for the hex, essentially.
Just fire an LBX-10 into a dude in the open.
Yeah. If that does extra damage because it's a cluster weapon, ballistic, and
in the open.
So that's actually how you kill them. Not that they were, screaming to die normally. But yeah, so your single Gauss rifle or your PPC, it might kill like 2 or 3 dudes if you're lucky.
But it can't just be that easy, Josh. Because the rules change from generic infantry to mechanized infantry. Because mechanized infantry take half damage from burst fire and conventional infantry, but then they take double damage from non-infantry units?
Yeah.
Or like you kill 2 troopers when you do... Yeah.
Essentially, we can shoot the Humvee just a little bit better than we can shoot the guy who's driving the Humvee.
The Humvee protects some from conventional rifle fire?
But not from the AC-10s.
Right.
Yeah.
What a mess.
Yeah. All right, so that's Total Warfare. Woo! Let's talk about Conventional Infantry and Alpha Strike. Steve, aren't they so much cooler in Alpha Strike?
Yeah. Not really. Oftentimes they're extremely slow. They have TMM of 0 almost always, unless they're VTOL, or the mechanized ones can scoot a little bit better. But, for example, for 6 points, you can get a clan heavy foot infantry. They move 2 inches and have 0*0* with 2 health.
You're just taking that because you like that unit or that art, or like narratively.
Maybe. I mean, the ad hoc clan foot infantry is 10 points, still 2 foot movement, and they have short range of 2. They at least have 3 armor, 1 structure, so they at least have like more health.
Yeah, you're paying for the health. I mean, let's get real.
That's what it is. But I mean, in general, a lot of this stuff just doesn't really cut it. I mean, there's a field gun infantry platoon for 10 points. That is the AC-10 variant. 10 points, 4-inch movement, 220 for 3 health. But that's, 32 guys.
Yeah.
So
it's like
it's
AC-10s.
That's at least something. They can at least reach out and poke somebody for 10 points.
Yeah.
But for 10 points, I'd almost rather take something else.
It's sad because when I look at Alpha Strike and Conventional Infantry, my brain says this should be where they shine. Like, I shouldn't be running 10 platoons in Total Warfare Classic Battletech. I should be running it in Alpha Strike. But then I see how poorly they're converted over. Like, it makes me think, okay, everything should always do 1 damage. If you do damage at all, you should be able to just do 1 damage. Like, we shouldn't even do 0*. We should just do 1.
Well, that's based on the conversion. You got to be able to reliably do 10 damage to get your 1.
Yeah.
Right.
And
so some of these
infantry
things
doesn't do that because...
No, not always.
So I've always thought we need like a special keyword for infantry. Like, okay, can hit out, can do minimum of 1.
Maybe.
I don't
know. The thing is, it's like, I feel like Alpha Strike, they do way better. Conventional infantry, I feel, does way better in Alpha Strike. I still think battle armor are better.
Yes.
But because the rules are all consistent between all,
that's true. That's true.
Units, like, all right, it's at least streamlined and you can at least run them. if you're going to do like a big narrative fight in Alpha Strike, you can at least have a justification for all these little dudes running around, like that. I feel like that's a little bit better. But again, we find ourselves in the same predicament of, if I'm going to be spending 10 to 20 points, I'd rather take a battle armor.
Yeah, like there is not a lot of difference at that level in Alpha Strike when you look at conventional foot infantry and cheapest battle armor. It's like, okay, battle armor will at least do like 1 damage. They can ride on a guy. I don't have to pay for a dedicated transport if I'm taking an Omni. If I am taking a transport, like, okay, the battle armor can normally get, it's TMM plus like the small bonus of +1. Conventional infantry don't get that in Alpha Strike either.
Yeah.
So you need a lot of things, a lot more moving parts to make conventional infantry work well in Alpha Strike. And I think they, by being probably the worst thing in Classic, suffer the most being converted into Alpha Strike as well.
Well, the big one is it's like their cargo size, right? And Alpha Strike is like cargo size 32. You're not fitting those guys in anything reasonable for the table,
No. No, you just got to start on the table with them and slowly push them up. Sprint, man. Sprint. You got to sprint for 3 inches.
Right? For like 5 turns, and you might get somewhere near a fight.
Yeah. That's always been like okay, we need to like forward deploy, like, okay, my half of the table, or the battlefield is already there and the mechs are coming now, like kind of thing. Like that's where it works, where it's like, okay, here's a bunch of little speed bombs. The good infantry might do 1 damage if you're within 6 inches, so don't be within 6, or kind of thing.
Again, I think these are probably limited for narrative games mostly.
Yeah.
Right. But that's not to say that like you shouldn't use them. I mean, they're there. I used a bunch of conventional infantry when my players were doing a prison riot, right? There are all these guys that had broken into the armory and gotten these guns, and they were, kind of putting down these this prison riot. And they were there. There was something to shoot at that wasn't the enemy mechs. Mm-hmm. So like they were there. They had a purpose, but were they ever a real threat? No, not really.
I wish, but no. Yeah, I've definitely tried to take some conventional infantry. It's so hard for me to say that. Conventional infantry. I've taken them. I've taken like some Comguard hover infantry before, and then I was like, okay, well, if I get them like next to a mech, I can at least anti-mech or something. It's like conventional infantry are +3 to anti-mech. It's like, oh no, they're even worse than that at battle armor.
We didn't even talk about that. They get a horrible plus to shooting stuff.
Mm-hmm. Not shooting, just anti-meching. They shoot like normal.
Oh, that's right.
So, yeah, in Classic, it's rough too. Battle armor, yeah, +1. That's okay. Infantry, like I understand they're cheap, so it's really tempting to upskill them like stupidly, like 1-2, like gunnery, anti-mech. But it's like, is that worth it? You made the 100 BV unit 200 BV. Is it worth it?
If it does something, I mean, here's the thing, right? If you're really close and you have your mech selected and you got 200-300 points left, I mean, sure, grab a couple of stands, you get a couple of initiative sinks, they can wander around, and if you manage to jump them on somebody and they're skill 1 or 2, then maybe they hit something, right? But I think you have to ask yourself pragmatically, right? How much am I going to slow the game down? And how much am I going to get out of these units, right?
Yeah.
Am I going to waste 3 hours looking up extra rules, trying to figure out to hit numbers, trying to figure out how much damage they do, how to apply damage to them? My vote would be no. I would instead take those 200 points and turn them into BSP credits and then get a Pegasus or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Even the cheapest magnetic intersphere battle armor is worth more to me than 3 squads or 4 squads of conventional rifle ballistic infantry.
Yeah.
And that's sad, but that's just where we are now in the post 3025 Battletech, where things move fast. Infantry used to be great for delivering infernos, stuff like that, but it's like, okay, I don't need that anymore.
Yep. Yeah.
Alrighty. Steve, let's talk about some special troopers. Some troopers that we want to shine the spotlight on a little bit.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Ones that make us happy. because we've been pretty negative for the last hour. So let's be positive. It's some infantry that do it for us. And I'll let you go first, Steve. Who did you pick?
Oh, well, okay. First of all, we had to go digging into our enjoyable and lovely Free Worlds League units. And we had to go with possibly the coolest unit that I could find. That's the Aerial Branth Infantry, the Aerial Beast Infantry. These dudes ride dragons, which is pretty sick.
Aren't they like the dragons that get really sick if they leave their planet?
I don't know. I didn't check up on the lore. Look, some people have brought these to Motor City, and they had little tiny like plastic dragons from the dollar store that they mounted on what you call them, paper clips. They mounted them in paper clips.
That's so cute.
And it was actually really cool. And seeing they were pirates, so they ran Aerial Beast Infantry, and we'll talk about them in Alpha Strike first because I just mentioned it. But they move 10 inches. They got VTOL movement. They're 0 star, and they're 1 armor, 1 structure. But they're 9 points. So for 18 points, you can have 2 stands of these guys that can contest and claim objectives. And if they get behind somebody, they'll do 1.5 damage, which is
not nothing.
For 9 points and a 10-inch mover, like I would take that. I think that's valuable. In Classic, they're kind of bad. There's 7 troopers in this one. If they're
let's work through the sheet. All right, there's it's 7 guys,
7 dudes.
All right, so cluster 7. You roll how much damage they do.
Like 0 to 1
through 4, it's 0 damage. 5, 6, 7, you do 1 damage. They get movement 5 if they're in VTOL mode, or movement 1 if they're in foot mode. That's not bad. They have damage divisor 2, which we talked about. So they take, autocannon 2 or whatever, divide that by 2. Only 1 guy's dying. That's pretty good.
Nice. I mean, it's because dragons are sick.
Yeah, literally coughing, phlegm, pneumonia.
They really do look very ill in that artwork.
Yeah, they're not happy dragons.
No.
Now, here's where I talked about like all that armor and equipment. Like these guys have special equipment. They cannot conduct anti-mech or swarming attacks, probably because they're riding dragons, Steve. But they do get an extra 2d6 damage against infantry. And 1 + 1 whole damage point versus mechs and vehicles. So these guys are really anti-infantry dragon infantry, which is cool.
I mean, I'd be terrified if a dragon riding weirdo just attacked me from the sky. That would be effective against me.
Yeah. So it's exactly like, okay, these are moving faster than foot infantry. They're weaker in that sense, but they've got damage visor 2, so they've got 14 dudes for health purposes. It's like they're not bad. But then you look at the BV.
They're 41 BV. I mean, that's pretty good, I think.
Yeah.
For 41 BV for all that? No, you're shaking your head. You don't like that?
I mean, look, there's a point when free is not free.
41 is pretty cheap.
41 is pretty cheap. I've always wanted to play like a sub 100 BV game, and this is like what you would take. Like, okay, I got a rifle platoon, some beast platoon, and maybe like a scout or 2. Like,
now, the one thing I'm sad about is because they're riding dragons, I was really kind of hoping that there would be a variant that had heat 1 because the dragons could breathe fire. But I don't see flame-breathing aerial beast platoons, which is a bit of a bummer.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, just like, yeah, if they breathe fire, that'd be too good.
Then they'd be really good at cleaning up conventional infantry.
Yeah. I mean, they do technically spit a, quote, poisonous substance to which most humans have an allergic reaction to, but that's as close as we get.
Give me heat damage. I want it. What if I just pencil it into my card? Do you think anyone will go for it?
I would totally allow it.
Excellent.
I do have to quickly side note off the aerial Branth infantry is there is not a canonical record sheet, but if you take instead of Branth, which get a damage divisor of 2, if you take Hipposaurs, which are like the giant megafauna, they have a damage divisor of 4. So if you want tanky beast infantry, you can do that too.
Do they breathe fire?
No.
See, I don't want them.
They're just angry Hipposaurs. So yeah. So for 9 points or 41 BV, you got aerial Branth infantry. And we finally talked about them. You're happy, everyone.
I know. I think they're great. Josh, since you could not pick cool dragons because I picked cool dragons, what did you pick? I know that if I hadn't picked cool dragons, I know you would have picked cool dragons.
Someone was legally required to talk about them if we did the conventional infantry episode.
What did you pick?
I picked one that I actually run, probably my most common ran infantry, which is Mechanized Assault XTC infantry.
This is Comstar?
This is Word of Blake. These are the guys who come in after the nukes have, leveled the city and are there to help the survivors out and make sure that, no one's feeling aggressive after.
I don't believe a word you just said.
No, not at all. So these guys are equipped with environmental suits and marine armor, essentially. They have damage divisor 2, which we've already talked about is pretty cool. There are 24 guys in a platoon. So they kind of break from the normal Word of Blake, number thing.
I mean, there's 6 in there.
There's 6, but there's not the full 6.
Well, you get 6 plus 6 is 12, plus another 6 is 18, plus another 6 is 24. Yeah. It's 4 clusters of 6.
It's 4 clusters of 6, but it's not 36 guys. We left
because the spacesuits take up more space.
It's actually because of the spacesuits and the mechanized part. So look at that damage, Steve. 24 guys. Bad. The max damage is 19.
It's not bad.
It's not bad. And that's in clusters of 2.
They kind of move.
Because
they are movement of 4?
Yep, they are mechanized. I want to say, they are mechanized wheeled. They have movement 4.
It's pretty good.
That's pretty good. Their range, if they're in the same hex as you, it's -1, and they go all the way out to balmy 6 hexes at +4. So
I'm surprised they can shoot that far.
I mean, they've got like good laser weapons and whatever is mounted on their mechanized wheeled APCs.
Man, my dragons suck.
And they're special because of their armor. They get the xenoplanetary condition trained, which means they can go into all environments without suffering any penalties for like movement, shooting, health, whatever. So, and that's all for the price of 134 BV.
Now, I'll tell you what, if I could take 3.5 sets of dragons for one of these, I'd probably still lose because these are kind of good.
I mean, my mechanized assault XTC dudes can only kill one of your Branths a turn.
It's true.
So if you hit me, you do 2d6 damage, and then I just divide that by 2.
So maybe killing 3 guys a turn?
Yeah,
maybe.
So it's one of those weird, I'm whittling you down a lot more, but you're not whittling me down.
Yeah. And an Alpha Strike, your guys slap pretty hard. I mean, for 14 PV, you get an 8-inch wheeled mover with 220 damage at 3 health.
Yeah.
That's pretty decent for 14 points.
Just this unit card makes me want to take them. Like that's battle armor in infantry form, but 8-inch wheeled. Like, oh, I'm on the urban map. I'm running on the street. Oh, I'm wheeled. I actually do get extra movement. That's cool.
Yeah, but you're still limited to TMM1 because you're in infantry and not battle armor.
Yeah.
So it's something. And at 3 health, you're probably going to get wiped off the map when someone sees you. But
a locust kills me.
Yeah. No, but I mean, look, it's for 14 points. Who cares?
Yeah. So I like these guys. I run them pretty frequently in both Alpha Strike and Classic, and I like them. They make me happy.
The Art Alone's pretty rad.
Yeah.
They look like, they look kind of like, Dark Angels, but
oh no, they do. They literally have little cloaks and hoods
Yeah, they're Dark Angels.
Oh,
dog.
no.
They even got a sword on their tabard.
No, I never saw it before. I just thought they were cool.
No, they're Dark Angels.
No. I don't like
You're
them.
welcome.
Nope.
You're welcome.
So that's mine. All right. So now that we've talked all about infantry, final thoughts on it, conventional infantry and Battletech, Steve. Do we need to inject them? First off, should we change the rules? I think first we need to change the rules to be just very standardized across all of the infantry. Like, we can leave the special notes that they get, but we don't need 4 tables of a time of war guns. We don't need, like, okay, this weapon does this special damage against infantry. This weapon does this special damage. It's like, if they have the anti-infantry keyword, they roll an extra D6 or something.
I mean, it really depends, because there are those people that use them predominantly in their roleplay games, and they're going to say, we're losing too much if you take that away from us. If you want to see conventional infantry run in, like actual, I don't want to say actual, because that seems to discount the roleplay people's games, but, pickup games, non-narrative based games, if you want to see conventional infantry run with any sort of regularity or, ease, then yes, I think the rules would need to be modified, because there's just too much minutia in these, like, 5 pages. In again, the conventional infantry rules in Total Warfare are like 5 pages, but then for these other rules and these other guns and other stuff, you got to go to 2 different books. No one wants to pick out 3 or 4 rule books in order to run a crummy 14-point unit with, you know what I mean? Like, no one wants to do that.
Your Shadowhawk shoots at my foot infantry. I then have to check what type of weapon you're shooting me with, what damage it does, add all that up, and then apply that to my infantry. Then I have to do conditional checks of, am I in the open? Am I not? Do I have damage visors? All that. And it's like, is it worth it to kill the guy that wasn't going to hit you at all?
I don't think so.
So I think they belong in Battletech. I think they are much more suited for the lower level narratives or campaign things to add flavor. Like, I think I showed you, it's like 40 some pages of canon, like jihad level infantry troopers. Like, each faction has like 2 or 3 that like really adds personal flair to your faction or your force. That's pretty cool. Like, but
yeah, still,
but still. So,
I mean,
are you going to run any infantry after this episode? Like in Classic, just to try them out?
Maybe I'll give them a shot, but probably not.
At least the brands.
If we're being truthful, no, probably not. I'm probably not going to take time to do this. Maybe one day when I'm more motivated, but right now, no, I can't be bothered, unfortunately, because I know we're going to get a lot of hate for this. I don't think that we're giving conventional infantry really a fair shake. And I'm sure someone out there is going to correct us and say you didn't talk about this, that, or the other, or why this is actually good. And I'm sure we'll be wrong. But no, I don't. This is not high on my to try out list.
It's the 95% of the time they're not worth it. And that 5% of the time is when you can pre-deploy them into like hidden units or forward up in the map, or they're already in a city, like you're attacking a city that is already controlled, and they're in the buildings, because then you have to open up the buildings rules. And folks, we're not even going to cover infantry and buildings right now, because there's a lot of things for buildings, and we got to wait for Dedham to get back from vacation for that one.
I mean, no, but if you do put them in buildings right now, they're taking a lot less damage. They could do more. Yeah, there's a real niche for them. But
again, in our like hinterlands, like, okay, cool, I'm in woodlands, grasslands 1.
I mean, some of those hinterlands missions have buildings placed on the map, and if you're allowed to stick them inside those tokens, then sure, then they might be useful. And then if someone comes over to scan the building, you can shoot them with your 19 damage from your XRT guys. But
oh no, sir, they can't go into buildings because they're mechanized.
Mechanized, yeah.
They got to somehow stay with the vehicles.
But the damage comes from the laser rifles. Why don't they get out of the vehicles and go into the building?
All right, now we're getting to the rules. I don't actually know if the mechanized things can leave the buildings or leave their vehicles and go into a building next to it.
I'm sure it's another rule book.
It's probably another rule book. Well, I had fun, Steve. Thanks for coming on and talking about conventional infantry.
I learned quite a bit considering my knowledge base for conventional infantry was 0. I learned a lot from this. So, it was not a waste, even if we just learned that conventional infantry kind of suck.
Yeah. And folks, I do want to hear your stories of using conventional infantry on the tabletop in Battletech. So please email us at themechbaypodcast@gmail.com.
If you'd like to join the conversation and talk about this live, feel free to join our Discord and talk with people there. Share your cool hobby progress, your paint jobs, list building ideas, or just generally hang out.